Yeah. New breed. Finesse, finagle, I'ma have to lay low. Secret agents on my block trying to drain souls. They hate my range, giving glory as the fame grows. Switch whips, cut the fro, had to change clothes. City workers front yard trying to dig holes. Can't talk about the planes and the drones or the IG, honey trap, dirty snake hoes. I've been making many foes, Lord, I must be getting close. Let's talk. Those pro-black fists turn to rainbows. I peeped your whole angle, no community expansion. Where you at? BLM, nigga, buying large mansions. While the streets getting hungry, I'm steady pistol packing. Vest under my jacket, blade under my ratchet. Brass knuckles in my khaki. Stay humble, never flash. Stay ready for whatever, like Inspector Gadget. I'm incognito, but all around the atlas. Can't find me like Nemo. Death before dishonor, your honor. That's my credo. Now go and get them Hollywood pedos. If I burn this bitch down like Nero. I see him watching shapeshifters and witches, having rituals, casket with my pictures. They talk about me breaking bread, didn't know I was listening. Finesse, finagle, I'ma have to lay low. Secret agents on my block trying to drain souls. They hate my range, giving glory as the fame grows. Switch whips, cut the fro, had to change clothes. Finesse, finagle. Finesse, just the way though. I'm faceless, nameless, with a golden plated stainless. Dark shades for the strangers, landmines for the haters. Spectators watching, but I move without a sound. Toboggan on my head, leather gloves, I be around. They got my phone tapped, I'm hearing clicks on the dial. VPNs on the wire, check the profile, mobilize with my kindred. They sending bloodhounds, they watch it imitate, but can't duplicate the style. Got cameras in my lawn, cameras in my bucket, duct tape in my garage, cause I'm the one you wanna run with. Got demons everywhere, want me in jail over some dumb itch. Like who sent you, who you run with? And what the hell you smoking, turned your brain into an omelet. I'm finesse, you finito. Ain't no more street code, just souls getting repoed. Finesse, finagle. Finesse, this the wave though. Victorious, our bloodline stems from the warriors. On high, giving praises to the glorious. No record deal extorting this. Born for this. Handcrafted clay with the mortar. And ain't nobody stopping this. Let me talk to him. This the new covenant. We about to move on them. Put the truth on them. If the doctrine is sound, we gonna hit the ground running. Yeah, we the real red pill junkies. Finesse, finagle. I'ma have to lay low. That's what it is. That's what it is. If you like that song right there, you can find it on New Breed Music and Motivation. It's called Finesse. And right there is very empowering because we're talking about gang stalking. And that particular song right there is really, it really coincides with this particular topic. It really does. I mean, man, it's time that we become empowered, not allowing this program to get us down, because for those who don't know, there is a program against the chosen and the righteous, and we got to steadfast. We understand that it's cannibals on the island and it's inmates running the asylum. That goes without saying. The crazies, the weirdos, the men behind the machines, the devils behind the machines, they're watching, they're clocking, they're stalking. For those who are unfamiliar with the terminology I'm using, gang stalking. Gang stalking is organized mobbing. That's when a collective group of people come together under one accord to isolate, to prosecute, and pretty much to cause issues in one's life. And they do this as a form of manipulation. They do this as a form of, I would call it, they do it as an intimidation tactic. And it's a reason why. You have certain individuals that feed off the fear. There's also case studies on certain American citizens. And these studies go into a database. They like to understand human behavior. And it's also a very unhealthy obsession with those who have spiritual fortitude, those who actually follow God, those who have a strong belief system, those who have personal convictions, those who stand on their beliefs are not, and those who are not easily swayed to one side or the other. Those particular people
who can think for themselves. Those three-dimensional thinkers, as we call them. Those who do not allow Democrats or Republicans to sway their opinion. Those who think outside of the box and they don't go along with the status quo. A lot of the times, these individuals are victims of harassment. And this harassment comes from government agencies. This harassment comes from people in the community. This harassment can even come from friends and family, even co-workers. You have workplace mobbing that takes place. You have mobbing that takes place on the internet. You have mobbing that takes place all over the world. This is a reality. There's CIA records of these things. And we're going to get into it. We have certain organizations like COINTELPRO, which watch the people, stalk the people. And also, there's this very spiritual aspect to this all. It's a very spiritual aspect to it, which we're going to get into that as well. But I see people rolling in the chat. Bama Boys in the house, Perpetual Flower, Hip Hop Finest, Tristan Thompson, Sophia Love, Young Jean, Stacy, Carmen's in the house. Big Sky's in the house. Tarina, I see y'all rolling in. All praises to the Almighty. I want y'all to get y'all's thumbs up as you enter the chat. Get the thumbs up as you enter the chat. Highly appreciate it. But it goes on all over our communities. It's horrendous. If you've ever undergone one of these programs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's real difficult to deal with. It's difficult to bear. I have quite a few sources I want to share with y'all, and I want to parallel everything with scripture. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not speaking about gang stalking with solution, meaning you're going into what the Bible is telling you, how to persevere and push through these programs, then you're actually a part of the problem. Because if you're talking about the gang stalking and you're cultivating fear within the people, but you're not offering a solution, then you are actually part of the manipulation process. All right. C Payne, thank you for the $20 contribution. Highly appreciate it. Says, yes, sir. Obsessed with the people of God and the black race. Absolutely. And it's a very unhealthy obsession. And they begin to like secretly admire you, but at the same time, they're studying you and they're dissecting you. They're dissecting your every move. They're trying to understand what makes you tick. It's sort of like in science class when they would take a frog, lay it on the table and dissect it to find out what's going on with the organs and whatnot. That's exactly what they do to the chosen. And there's a very evil plot that they have. And we're going to talk about what that evil plot is in this video. We're going to go into scriptures to prove what they plotting to do and why they continually watch the people, the chosen, those who are righteous, those who bear fruit, those who are actually on the right side of history. We're going to talk about it. With no further ado, I'm going to share my screen with y'all. Because some people don't understand the reality of the situation. And I want to make sure that you get it, right? This video right here is entitled Ways the Government is Secretly Spying on You. And this is from Top Trending. And I want y'all to really hear me out. I'm going to chime in on some of the talking points. And we got to understand the reality of the situation, not to be fearful, but to take the precautions necessary. See, anytime I'm speaking about gang stalking, organized mobbing, espionage, spying of any sort, I'm always going to offer you solutions. I'm always going to offer you something that you can do, something tangible, and a proactive way of moving in society. So you just don't get caught up in the devil's snares, because the devil always has tricks and snares that he's plotting and setting up against the people who are not going along with Satan's system. Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, if the devil already got you, he's not worried about you. It's those strong people who don't allow this system to make them bend, break, or fold. Those are the people that the devil really wants to keep his eye on, right? Now, let's go ahead and run the video. Fair use. Federal law allows citizens to redistribute portions of copywritten material for teaching, edification, and so forth. This is under fair use, and that's what I'll be doing in this video. Also, the content will be transformative. All right, let's go.
These days, from the scandals that surround Facebook to WikiLeaks, it's no secret that privacy is a commodity these days. From the scandals that surround Facebook to WikiLeaks, it's obvious that most people are being monitored without their consent on a...
Absolutely. The internet is a database. FBI, Facebook, Instagram. That's FBI for you. Facebook and Instagram. And it just so happens that the people are willing to give up their privacy. It's not even a situation of, you know, they're being intrusive. It's you're relinquishing all security that you should have, right? And let's go into it.
Daily basis, but it's easy to become complacent with the technology we use and the information we provide without a second thought. But this is not always wise. Today we're exploring 10 ways the government watches you. PRISM is the code name for a program that the United States government uses to collect internet data from citizens. It was launched in 2007 under the Bush administration with the passage of the Protect America Act. Documents indicate that PRISM is the #1 source of raw intelligence used for NSA analytic reports. U.S. government officials have disputed ongoing criticism and have defended the program by asserting it cannot be used on domestic targets without a warrant, that it has helped to prevent acts of terrorism, and that it receives independent oversight from the federal government's executive, judicial, and legislative branches. But privacy advocates are still nervous. It is proven that the government has direct access to servers from companies like Google, Facebook, and Microsoft.
And this is why Google, Microsoft, they know exactly what you're searching. They study your search engine. They trace your IP address. It's all about data collection. This is why you can literally be thinking something. And with a lot of these iPhones, y'all don't understand, they actually have retinal scans within the iPhone. They're getting into technology now where they can read your mind. When you're looking at your phone, you get into your Google search, they already know what you're about to look up. To the point, if you're looking for a recipe, then that recipe will literally show up on your phone. So when we talk about gang stalking, we're talking about a system that's trying to play God, right? It's not just isolated events and third-party companies. We're talking about the entire system. We're talking about Satan. This is all Luciferian. It's all demonic. Just like the Most High God has the whole world in his hands, and he can count the numbers of hair on your heads and see everything. That's what these people are trying to do. Be intrusive enough where they can know your very thoughts. They can know what's going on in your home. They can know what's going on in your environment in general, and they can locate you using global positioning networks or global positioning systems to trace your whereabouts at all given times. The straw that will break the camel's back is the mark of the beast. Now, some of us, we've been experiencing gang stalking for a number of years now, so this is nothing new to us. To show you the Most High God was preparing us to deal with the surveillance state. The Lord was preparing all us targeted individuals, those who was chosen to break the matrix and wake up. The whole entire time we were being tried like go through a furnace to be prepared for this very moment where now all they need is something to inject in the people. The mark of the beast, the mark of Satan that bears the number 666. That's the only thing they need to completely have control over the vessels that they constantly watch.
Some this seems innocuous, but to others it feels extremely invasive. The details of PRISM were leaked by Edward Snowden in 2013. While many citizens were shocked that the government collected huge volumes of data, no substantial legislative changes have been made since the PRISM was revealed. Several high-ranking officials have insisted that the program is only used to weed out potential terror suspects, but there is no way to verify what goes on behind the scenes. One of the National Security Agency's most powerful tools of mass surveillance makes tracking someone's internet usage as easy as entering an email address and provides no built-in technology to prevent abuse. The NSA's X-Keyscore program, first revealed by The Guardian,
And see, I want everybody to take notes on these particular programs that they got, because this is something to look out for. And when it comes to the institution of the mark of the beast, you're going to have a lot of major corporations and companies such as Guardian and Prism actually coming together, along with VeryChip, Digital Angel, the list goes on and on. They'll be coming together collectively to institute the mark as well. Lisa Davis, thank you for the $5 contribution. Highly appreciated. Says, peace and blessings, New Breed and chat family. Just wanted to say that yesterday's 5-hour stream was very powerful. You are definitely a chosen one. All praises to the Most High. And thank you, Lisa. Highly appreciate it. Thank you for your support. So keep an eye on these organizations.
keeps up countless people's internet searches, emails, documents, usernames and passwords, and other private communications. X-Keyscore is fed a constant flow of internet traffic from fiber optic cables that make up the backbone of the world's communication network. As of 2008, the survey...
And listen, fiber optic networks are everywhere now. And at one point in time, I worked for AT&T. And there was this big push back in 2012 to just get fiber optics everywhere. I'm talking about in isolated locations and places that didn't even have internet. They wanted to make sure we got the towers to put the fiber optics in. I'm talking about, I was deep down south, various places of South Carolina, Alabama, all of these places. I mean, it was deep down south. And very country areas that didn't have the fiber optics, and they were laying them. It was a big push back in the day back in 2012. Thank you for the $10 contribution, Betty Sales. Highly appreciate it. Yeah, fiber optics are underground. Yes, sir. Yep.
surveillance system boasted approximately 150 field sites in the United States, Mexico, Brazil, United Kingdom, Spain, Russia, Nigeria, Somalia, Pakistan, Japan, and Australia. As
worldwide. And this is why I need a lot of quote unquote targeted individuals. Really, I hate to use that terminology because in actuality, we're empowered individuals. And there's even government files that say that let's watch these empowered individuals, because we're not targeted, we're really empowered. And as we go into the scriptures, you're going to find that out. But I recommend that you start looking at this on a global scale. It's bigger than just you as an individual. I see a lot of people who experience community harassment on a certain level. But when you begin to broaden your horizon and see how spiritual this actually is, the paranoia, the fear tactics, the isolation, the depression that you feel, it'll begin to alleviate, because you'll understand that this is a battle between good and evil.
as well as many other countries, consisting of over 700 servers. According to a 2009 document, some field sites received over 20 terabytes of data per day. This is the equivalent of 5.7 million songs, or over 13,000 full-length films. Many are critical of this program because of how unsophisticated it is. The NSA accesses the data using a standard browser like Firefox or Chrome, and the system is entirely susceptible to hacking, making all of this data vulnerable. Here's one which might make more sense in the context of our daily lives. The New York Civil Liberties Union revealed in 2015 that the state of New York was storing the data of all participants in their EasyPass system. The only surprising thing is that information was not just recorded at toll booths. There were stations set up all over the state, seemingly with no purpose other than surveillance. The surveillance sites are referred to as stingrays. Stingray is the commonly used term for a cell site simulator, a briefcase-sized surveillance device that allows the police to spy on cell phones in the area by mimicking a cell phone tower.
Exactly. And that right there is gang stalking. This is modern gang stalking. And this is why I tell people to broaden their horizons. Because listen, a lot of people, they're worried about you're worried about your neighbors, you're worried about people in grocery stores, you're worried about just various people. And you're following them around with the cell phone. Look, there's a gang stalker. There's a gang stalker watching me, and this person's doing this to me. And what you're doing, what you don't understand is your cell phone. Your cell phone is the gang stalker. This technology that they rolled out is the gang stalker. Now, some of y'all may be asking, well, Breed, why are they doing all of this? Why are they so gun-ho in watching the people? What is going on here? Why do they do this? Well, let's go to Psalms 37 and 32. Psalms 37 and 32 reads, the wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. So when they're watching, when they're spying, when they're looking at you with despitefulness, they're actually plotting. They have deep prayers. They have dark intentions. And they're thinking in their minds how they can slay you. And this is how cowards move. Cowards will sit there and clock and watch and monitor you and in hopes that they can catch you slipping, in hopes that they can see a weakness so they can get the courage and the audacity to actually make a move. And see, here's the thing. There are spiritual laws put in place. This is the understanding you have to know. They do want to kill you. Satan always have been trying to kill you. From the beginning of your inception, since you were born, since you were formulated, Satan, he was trying to destroy you. He was trying to slay you. So it's only natural that his minions, it's only natural that his goons would try to do the same thing. Demons operate through people. And here's the thing. Unless they have a point of access, there's no way they could do anything to you. You have to be the one who's slipping. You have to be the one who's doing something outside the confines of God's word. You have to be doing something where they can actually set you up for failure. And there's agents. These agents exist. They're constantly maneuvering in society. Some of the agents are sleeping right next to you, and you don't even know you're dealing with an agent. And this is why the Most High God tell you in the scriptures, if you love mother, father, sister, brother, anybody more than me, you're not worthy of me. Because even through an intimate relationship, even through family and friends, there can be people who are just working for Satan. The lines in the sand are being drawn. The great separation is happening. The division of the wheat and the tare is taking place full-fledged right now. So we got to keep in mind that they want to destroy you ultimately. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 18 reads, they hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is to come. So in this day, they would actually hunt your steps. They would watch you. They would stalk you. Some of y'all, every time you outside your door, you seeing other people outside your door watching you. Every time you go through the grocery store, through the supermarket, it's people following you. No, you're not paranoid. The Bible tells you it will be people who hunt your steps. They would literally follow you around. They're possessed. This is what I need y'all to understand. Demonic possession is real. It's very subtle. It's not like the movies. It's not like the Exorcist movie with somebody's head twirling around and projectile vomiting. No. Most demon-possessed people, they got their eyes fixated on you chosen ones. And they're plotting on you. They're looking at you with the reptilian eyes. And some of them don't even know they're possessed. They'll be walking, and all of a sudden, since that light shines in you, you'll be walking by, and all of a sudden, they just, it's like something takes over them. They were normal. They were operating as normal. Nothing was going on with that person. They was out here shopping, throwing a little mayo in the cart, grabbing their necessities and their resources for their respective homes. They're just looking like normal people. And then as soon as you walk by, it's just something you see a snarl, a cold stare. That can only be spiritual. That's not, all of these people are not government officials. Not all of these people are not hired agents. Satan has his minions. Although in this video, we are going to discuss the higher agents. We're going to talk about the agents that were hired, and we're going to talk about the process of hiring and recruiting these agents. We getting into it. All right, let's go.
Stingrays allow the police to pinpoint and track a person's location, collect the phone numbers that a person has been texting and calling, and in some configurations, intercept the contents of communications. Though the story broke in New York, the ACLU has identified 75 agencies in 27 states in the District of Columbia that own stingrays. But many agencies continue to shroud their purchase and use of stingrays in secrecy. Toll collectors are also unveiling a wide array of license plate readers in sites far from any designated toll collection site, prompting the question, what are these sites attempting to monitor? A biometric is a way to identify someone based on physical characteristics, fingerprints, DNA, retinas, voice, face, or even gait, among others. These simple measurements add up to an extraordinary threat to privacy when they are collected.
See, right here is paramount. We're talking about the biometrics. And I was just stating earlier how they utilize iPhones to actually, pun intended, iPhone. They actually are scanning your retinas. And a lot of the new iPhones, they're looking at your eyes and they're attempting to read your mind. And when you are a chosen one, they can actually see these agents and these officials who run these hubs and these people who have these centers. When you have one of these phones, say you're one of the chosen. Let me explain. Let me get deep. Hopefully, I don't go too deep and go over your heads. When you wake up to the truth, when you begin to read that word, right? Or when you begin to awaken, there's a light that sparks off in your mind. Some people call it the third eye. Some people call it the pineal gland. There's various terminologies for this gland of light. The Most High God calls it the seal of God in the book of Revelations. It's a seal where the holy angels can see you. It's a light that magnifies when you awaken. See, your physical DNA changes when you wake up. Like when you literally unplug from the matrix, something ignites in your spirit and it magnifies. It's in your eyes. They can see it. Literally, your DNA change, your biochemical marker change. It changes. Some people begin to even look different when they wake up. Because there's a shift in the spiritual realm. Something shifted within your soul. You begin to shine a certain way. And not only do angels see it, because angels see it and they see that light and they know that, okay, God sends more protection. He sends a wedge of fire around you. He sends the angelic protection around you, guardian angels, as we call them, because they see you by the light. They're like, okay, we see that light. We got to protect this individual from outside sources. But guess what? The devil see it as well. Y'all got to remember, demons are fallen angels. So they still can see when a person has awakened. And that person becomes a threat. See, ladies and gentlemen, we're higher than the angels. We're higher than the demons, the fallen angels, and we're higher than the angels in heaven. The angels in heaven actually serve us. The fallen angels, we will actually judge them at the end. So it's in their best benefit, it's in their best interest to get a toll on or get a hold on those who are going to be judging them ultimately. Those who fell from heaven, we will be judging them. So they're watching us. Like, hold on, we got to make sure we keep a close eye on that individual. Because when it comes down to it, we know that they're going to be the end of us. Remember when Christ came across a man that was possessed, they said, Christ, have you come to judge us before our time? To show you the sons of God, the Most High's men, will be judging the angels. And also the scriptures tell us that we can judge things of this world, and we will judge the holy angels. So what more things will we judge? So that's why they use this technology. The technology that they're rolling out is demonic. All right. Your world leaders, they go to the Pyramid Giza every year and they talk to fallen angels. They talk to demons. They talk to spirits. They harness jinns. They go to spirit guides And I really don't want to go over y'all head, but this is the reality of the situation. And these demons and these jinns, they tell them how to come up with this technology. How look how to be invasive with the people. You know, they know how close the time is coming before their judgment is coming. So that's what's going on.
Analyzed and stored in readily searchable databases. Edward Snowden revealed that in 2 years alone, the NSA has collected webcam footage from almost 2 million citizens. Yes, in case you didn't know, the government can remotely access your webcam and monitor you from your own computer. And they are capturing your personal moments as well. 11% of the data was flagged as containing nudity. And
you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? So here's the precautions that you take. They say that they can watch you through your webcam. Even when you're not around, they can watch your environment. They said 11% of the data they collected, it was nudity involved. So here's the thing with technology, you got to make sure that you stay educated. You got to make sure that you unplugging these things. You got to make sure that you're covering your webcam. After it's done, buy yourself a webcam cover. If you online and you doing what you do, buy something to cover the camera after everything is done, so you don't have to disconnect everything all the time. And, you know, be careful what you say. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you do. Privacy is very difficult to come by. So do what it is you got to do. And I will also recommend that you invest in VPNs to protect your servers. I would recommend that you move wisely. Yeah, somebody said it in the chat. It's Black Mirrors. Yep, somebody said cover up your computer. It's a black screen. Yep. Some people do use electrical tape as well. Yep. Somebody said they put tape over their webcam when they was in school. Asia Hunter, thank you for becoming a new member. Highly appreciate you, sis. Yeah, they listening and watching. And let that be a lesson for all you ladies out here who are actually doing your OnlyFans and all of these things. Listen, it's not just your quote unquote fan base that's watching you. It's not just these thirsty men that is watching you. No, you have the NSA watching you. You have, if you're on TikTok, you got Chinese spyware watching you. If you're on Instagram and Facebook, you have the FBI watching you. Now, why do they want to watch the citizens? That would be the major question. Why? Because listen, let me put this out here. Women will always be the spoils of war. Women will always be the spoils of war. And in case you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, we are on a pending war. We in war times. There's a war going on, whether you like to admit it or not. And at the end, they're trying to see who is going to be auctioning who. So they're looking at a lot of you sisters as treasures, and you don't even know it. So be careful. I'm telling you, be careful. And I say this all the time. Third-party companies, and let me tell you how these third-party companies work. They operate in ritual and sacrifice. They operate in ritual and sacrifice. You will be shocked at who they actually recruit to do the dirty work, because the quote-unquote NSA, they're not the ones doing the dirty work. Some of these missing women and children, they're by the hands of somebody who's going to be the fall guy. It could be somebody in your neighborhood. Some worthless thug that stands outside all day watching everybody's license plates. Somebody who gets on Instagram and is watching you, sisters. There's times that these individuals end up blowing up, making it successful out of nowhere. They become rappers. Let me tell you something about the celebrity world that some of y'all may not know. There's a lot of sex trafficking going on. There's a lot of sacrifices being made behind the scenes. And some of these rappers and they groups and they gangs and they street goblins and these thugs on the streets, some of these men are the ones who are snatching our daughters and sisters off the streets. Yeah. And they're doing rituals on them, putting them in satanic pentagrams and sacrificing them in order to get fortune and fame. They're doing it for wealth. And they're being recruited by third-party companies. They're being recruited by these individuals to snatch ladies up and sacrifice them. There's a lot of blood sacrifices that go on. In order to obtain the rudiments of this world, they got to do a lot of things. So when I'm telling you, ladies, this is not, it's not to bash you about what you're doing online, although you're not supposed to be out here scantily clad and allowing everybody into your bedroom. It looks bad on us as a nation. It looks real bad. But I'm also telling you this because there's risk factors, there's predators. There's people out there that are primates. There's people out here who want the riches, they want the fame, and they would sacrifice you to get it. And I'm talking about some of these mainstream artists got blood on their hands. Real talk. And it's all being done through social media. Some of you Instagram models are you're being watched. And I'm gonna say this real talk. Real talk. Women are the biggest targets of gang stalking. And this is because a lot of women in modern society are single and quote unquote independent. So a lot of these women are the victims of gang stalking because they're seen as vulnerable. They're seen as unprotected. Therefore, they'll use these agencies to watch them. Gang stalkers are demons and cowards. Let's get that clear. Yeah, Lon Diamond said 70%. Absolutely. You have 70% that are pretty much women, and then you have the other 30% that's either whistleblowers or the 10%, the 1/3 of those who awaken. Because whistleblowers are also watched. It's not just relegated to Bible believers, but the Bible quantifies everything that goes on. The Bible is going to give you the solution, tell you why they're doing it and what's going on. But let's make this clear. Let's make this clear. Anybody who's a whistleblower, anybody, it could be a nurse who's speaking out against or a nurse at her job that don't want to get the Jim Jones, Joe Biden brimstone. So, you know, they pick and choose. All right, let's continue.
And bear in mind, this was only between 2008 and 2010. In the decades since, millions of hours of video have been recorded and sit in anonymous government servers. This data can be used to identify citizens in public using surveillance cameras. Like something out of a science fiction movie, users can also be identified with their fingerprints and other data that they volunteer to tech companies. Though this data is encrypted, the government has been able to exploit fully encrypted data in the past. A 2010 memo describing a briefing about the NSA for the United Kingdom's Government Communications Headquarters mentions cryptanalytic capabilities are now coming online. Vast amounts of encrypted internet data, which have up until now been discarded, are now exploitable. It's no secret that our smartphones are monitoring us every minute of every day.
Every minute of every day. An agent can't do nothing like your cell phone can do. A hired agent can't do nothing. They don't hold the torch. They pale in comparison to what a cell phone can do. Them cell phones is, I'm talking about, listen, you out here trying to follow around gang stalkers with a cell phone. You out here trying to pull your phone out. There's a red car watching me. Hey, they're blinking their high beams, and they do these things. Agents do things like they'll come in a residential area. They'll bend the corners in residential areas, driving fast, although it may be children there, and they'll have high beams on it and all kind of things like that. They do things like that because these people are demonic. They're sick. So don't get it twisted, but your cell phone is the gang stalker. It can watch you 24 hours a day. There are certain bags that you can purchase that can protect your cell phone from being traced. And as I play this, I'm going to go pull it up for y'all, that bag. I can't remember the name of it right now. I'll even tell you where you can order it. Because I have one on, I'm going to get one on the way real soon. As soon as I remember it, just remind me, just click. There's a bag that you can order that you can put your phone in. I'm going to pull it up for y'all. Let me play a little more of this video.
Most sensible people know to cover their cameras with tape when they're not being used. But the reality is our smartphones monitor much more than our internet usage. Most apps and even malevolent third-party sources can access both the front and back cameras, upload pictures without your permission, run facial recognition, detect if you're alone, and live stream your camera on the internet. We found that thousands of popular apps have the ability to record your screen and anything you type. David Chaffness told Tech Explorer that includes your username and password because it can record the characters you type before they turn into those little black dots. Using something as simple as a PDF file, hackers and the government alike can gain total control of your phone or computer.
Wow.
While it sounds like a dystopian future, all of these things.
Wow, using a PDF file? Man, hacking is getting easier and easier. They got a couple of bags. There's a RFID blocking bag. It's multifaceted. You can get it from Eason Ba. You have Glycon electronic bags. I'm just gonna throw out a couple of them so y'all can like really protect yourselves. There's quite a few. You could just actually Google them, and I would get the more expensive one. Just so you know you can get some privacy. You got the Latour bag. There's also a RFID signal blocking bag. You can actually order that off Amazon, and the price is not that bad. It's pretty much a pouch, and they use Oxford cloth. I would recommend those. I'm getting me one of these real soon. But although all of these things are spiritual and they can watch all day, and there's spiritual laws in place, why not take the precautions necessary? But yo, that's crazy that they're talking about hacking. They're talking about hacking your phone. They can upload pictures. These hackers they got easy access. Imagine you doing something with your wife and y'all want to get experimental and all of that. Y'all want to do what y'all do and make yourselves a short film. They can use a PDF file and upload that. And see, it used to be a time where leaking sex tapes was a problem. And people actually had to do what they had to do and sue people and do what they do. Nowadays, you don't even know who leaked it. You don't know who hacked it. And nowadays, people also willingly having sex on camera all damn day, all for the internet. It's called OnlyFans. Now we've been conditioned to just give everything to the public. But it used to be once upon a time where you had to get hacked to get a sex tape put out there. But let's get into it.
Are happening around us every day. A recent study from Northeastern monitored more than 17,000 apps on Android phones and concluded that many were actively sending and receiving photos and videos from users' phones, even while the app was not in use. For the most part, this data is simply turned into valuable market data, but in the wrong hands, it could be deadly. A reconnaissance satellite or intelligence satellite is an Earth observation satellite deployed for military or intelligence applications. They've been in common use for many decades, but most information exists up until the 1970s, after which...
Oh, look at this, y'all. Wow, I was about to get to a point, and look at this. You got America and China about to pound fist. I was just talking about the Chinese spyware and how they have an agreement. When you owe China trillions of dollars, of course you're going to allow them to get some of that, get stock on the people and have some of that spyware to watch the people. Of course you are. But here's the crazy part. He made a real valid point, and I'm going to rewind that a little bit. That just threw me for a loop when I seen America and China. Okay, no, we was talking about the satellites. Let's go right back a little bit.
Satellite deployed for military or intelligence applications. They've been in common use for many decades, but most information exists up until the 1970s, after which they were classified in response to the Cold War. Although
now, ladies and gentlemen, they have been instituting these satellites for a long time. They got satellites in space right now that can zoom down and see a penny on the ground. It's that serious. Satellites such as Digital Angel and the technology surrounded with that. Now, notice they use Digital Angel. Here's something a lot of people didn't know. And I want y'all to do your research on everything I'm saying. Fact check everything. The Digital Angel satellite, it actually travels in the same courses around the Earth that the fallen angels used to travel in. It actually travels through the same courses because at one point in time, these angels were called watchers. And they were tasked with the duty of watching the people here on earth. They were tasked with surveilling the people. But since these angels have failed from grace, they taught man the technology. They taught man the technology to be able to watch the people. And this is why when you go outside your door, on every corner, there's a camera outside. There's what they're watching. That's all based on these satellites. That's what was put in place. All right, let's get it.
Though a number of nations have launched spy satellites, the US and the Soviet Union are responsible for by far the greatest number. The Russian Federation, which inherited most of the Soviet Union's space system after 1991, has been unable to afford the cost of adequately updating.
Russia, China, and America are all in cahoots. Russia, China, and America are all in cahoots. All right?
Its spy satellite network. In contrast, the US has continued to deploy ever more sophisticated systems in a steady stream. Thus, the majority.
Lucidchart makes intelligent diagramming easy and helps your best ideas become real.
Majority of spy satellites in orbit today, including all of the most capable units, are US-owned. There are now an estimated 8,000 satellites circling the Earth, many of which have super powerful cameras that can monitor anything on the ground. Not only are these secretive devices unnerving for US citizens, they're also susceptible to hacking by geopolitical enemies like China and Russia.
See, let's rewind that. See, I've been saying this for some weeks now.
Not only are these secretive devices unnerving for US citizens, they're also susceptible to hacking by geopolitical enemies like China and Russia.
Now, they claim that they're geopolitical enemies. That's a lie. That's a lie. You can't be geopolitical enemies with somebody that you are in debt of. You can't be geopolitical enemies with somebody that you do business with. You can't do that. They tell that to the public because they don't want you to know that there's coercion going on. Let me get to these scriptures. Let me show you some of the coercion that takes place. In Psalms 83:3, it reads, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones." Against thy hidden ones. See, these people, they have taken crafty counsel. It's highly sophisticated and it's highly organized on a global scale. And they've all came together under one accord to go against who? The hidden ones. Ladies and gentlemen, we're the hidden ones. What makes us hidden? Well, a lot of us didn't know our culture until recently. A lot of us didn't know who we were. A lot of us didn't know our identity, which made us hidden. These people came together not only to suppress us from knowing who we are by stealing our original culture and our heritage, but these people also, they came together under one accord, deeming to watch these individuals, to make sure that they are doing central intelligence and counterintelligence, to make sure that they're stalking these individuals. So crafty counsel is crafty counsel. So let it be known, you are the chosen people and they are watching, but we're going to get into it because you got to know how this ends for them, right?
Though little is known about reconnaissance satellites, it's clear that they could be dangerous if they were misused. This is another trope that seems like it's right out of a spy movie. Bugging is a reality of law enforcement today. The Drug Enforcement Administration and other agencies regularly sell bugged phones to known criminals, holding on to the encryption key so they can continue to access their data for years in the future. That revelation is detailed in a new report from Human Rights Watch, along with a 2015 email that shows the
Hey, nowadays, they don't even have to bug their phones. They get on Facebook and Instagram, do the crime, record the crime, chase the clout, and send themselves to jail. They ain't even got to do no bugging nowadays. These youngers will do anything for some clout. I done seen people with gunpowder residue on their shirt, blood on their shirt, leaving the crime scene on Facebook Live. So they know what's going on. Somebody said, Shy, Trump Putin and Mahdi are working together. to take down the deep state all over the world. They have Project Orden. I don't know about that. I believe half of what I hear. I believe I believe nothing I hear, half what I see when it comes to politics. I feel like they're all working against the hidden ones. They're all working against the chosen ones. Now, there are times where these people are used. There's time where these people are used by the Most High to do some of the dirty work, and he makes them work against each other because a land divided can't stand. But all in all, I don't trust no politician.
EA had expressed interest in using smartphone malware from Italian company Hacking Team to spy on multiple suspects' locations. Together, they illustrate a potentially chilling practice on the part of the US government to preemptively plant spy devices on suspects. They also shed light on actions by federal law enforcement that aren't necessarily illegal, but do test the boundaries of surveillance and potentially subject non-targets to federal snooping. This becomes a
non-targets from federal snooping. Y'all hear what they said? So what they're saying is they'll have drug dealers, murderers, criminals, so on and so forth. They will tap in and watch them. But this is also subject to non-targets, meaning individuals who not even on their list, they can go ahead and do some snooping, do some probing. So even if, let's say hypothetically, you got criminals in your family. Let's say your cousin is moving weight. And this is why I say, hey, if you don't love the Most High more than your family, and you got this loyalty complex that you got to be loyal to individuals who out here doing dirt, you will be subject to being under investigation. There will be snooping going on just because you're in the presence of these individuals. Just because you keep in proximity and keeping company with people. I tell you, evil communication corrupt good manners, man. And see, that's a way of letting the enemy in right there. That's a way of letting the enemy in because you have this loyalty to people who out here doing dirt, and you know they doing dirt. You know they doing dirt. Hey, this is why we got to be careful who we spend our time around, man. And it may be hard for some of y'all. Some of y'all may have to shed some tears letting go of some of the people you spend your time with, but it ain't worth you being on none of these dossiers. It ain't worth you going to catch a plane. You finally want to leave the country, got your passport, and you at the airport and you get denied because you under investigation of the federal government. And you don't even know why, just because you hanging with the wrong people. It's like that. It's really like that.
The legal gray area because the officials do not receive consent from a court before they sell the bug phone. Normally,
they don't even get consent from the courts before they bug these phones. That's crazy.
Would require a judge's approval, much like a search warrant. However, the evidence gathered using this method has held up in court, and many fear that the government will become bolder in its bugging practices.
Hell yeah, what's stopping them? The people not complaining about it. The people, listen, even people on social media who do this for a living, not even saying nothing about all the illegal wiretapping, everything that's going on. So if ain't nobody gonna say nothing, hell yeah, they're gonna Humphrey Bogart you. They're going to Humphrey Bogart everybody. If ain't nobody complaining. Nobody complaining about being watched, not even content creators. That's the problem. This is why I make videos like this, because I want to make people aware, like this is an issue. And we got to take the precautions needed. And if you're a victim of electronic harassment, you got to do what you got to do, because let me tell you this as well. They use radiation time from time. And there's actually monitors that you can purchase to trace the radiation in your environment. And ladies and gentlemen, they have lawyers. They have actual lawyers that win lawsuits based on electronic harassment. See, you see when it says my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge? Listen, there are monitors that you can purchase, which I'm going to get into that as they play this. I'm going to look that up. I told you I'm going to bring y'all certain I'm gonna bring y'all tangible solutions. I'm gonna bring y'all some that you can actually purchase that's at a reasonable price. But some of these things range from $700 to $1,000, but there are cheaper ones that you can actually utilize, right? I mean, they can literally torture a person. They have energy weapons. They can do all these things. Let's go.
In 2016, the National Security Agency collected more than 151 million records about Americans' phone calls, despite Congress passing a law the previous year, the USA Freedom Act, intended to curb bulk surveillance. These records are comprised of metadata about calls, which includes time, duration, and the numbers of both recipient and caller, and their collection was revealed in an annual transparency report published on Tuesday by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. The report is the first assessment the public has seen of the impact of the USA Freedom Act and shows the difficulty the NSA has reining in surveillance while continuing to collect useful intelligence. This Freedom Act was passed in 2015 after the Snowden revelations and limits the NSA to collecting call metadata about individuals suspected of having ties to terrorism. The report shows that in 2016,
and also within the confines of the states, they're also practicing domestic warfare in various places. South Carolina, basically places that we label the Bible Belt. They're practicing, and this aired on the news. They're actually practicing warfare domestically. The U.S. military is. So, of course, they're going to watch what's going on because the United States government is preparing for domestic terrorism. Within the next few years, they're expecting more domestic terrorism. I don't know how they're actually labeling these people terrorists, but this is why you got to be careful who you associate yourself with. Even be careful with some of these camps, some of these movements, some of these resistant. Don't even listen. I'm telling y'all, be wise out here. Be wise out here. If you connect with those people, they will put your name in that database and label you something that you're not. But anyway, there are portable radiation detectors that you can get. There's handheld radiation monitors that you can get. They're called dosimeters. I'm trying to throw some good brands out for y'all that may be affordable. You got let me see. Let me throw a couple out there. There's some on Amazon that's decent. You got the Soaks, that's SOEKS, the Geiger counter, and that's ironically enough a Russian product. You got the GQ GM300E Plus, a digital nuclear radiation detector monitor meter. Now, that's only $90. Now, the reason why I'm telling you can get one of these is because if you're experiencing you hearing voices in your head, you getting ear problems, you having trouble sleeping, you're getting headaches all the time. If you have one of these things and you don't know what's going on and you actually trace the radiation, you can actually get a lawyer, and you can that lawyer can do his job, investigate where it's coming from, and you can actually win large sums of money. So yeah, it's just important that you invest in those type of things. They don't like you to get the solutions because these things do happen. We are fighting a war right now. And in war, you got to get certain things to protect yourself. Even though the Most High got us and we don't have no fear, but I like to give people tangible solutions. I do realize there's targeted individuals who watch this channel who may not even read the Bible, but I still want to give you a helping hand, all right, out here, right? Let's see.
The NSA received warrants to collect such information on only 46 terrorism suspects. What accounts for the other 151 million records?
So hold on, you got 151 million records, but you only found 51 suspected terrorism cells? So it was never designed for terrorism. Listen to what he just said, yo. This is crazy.
Terrorism. The report shows that in 2016, the NSA received warrants to collect such information on only 46 terrorism suspects. What accounts for the other 151 million records? The NSA has been characteristically silent on the matter, though the program is now officially shut down.
That's crazy.
This isn't just a cliche from spy movies.
What are they doing with those records?
Enforcement really does use unmarked vans for surveillance. A state judge has...
Yep, I've seen these unmarked vans. I've seen these unmarked vans on several occasions. In my neighborhood, in others' neighborhoods, I've seen them. Let's talk about these unmarked vans. And this is why all you brothers out here, you got to be aware of your surroundings. At all times, look at your surroundings. Even when you with your wife and your children or your girlfriend or whoever, listen, your eyes need to be up, not in your cell phone, walking on your cell phone. No, you need to be paying attention. As men, you always got to be looking around. Your spidey senses got to be tingling, right?
Ordered the New York City Police Department to release records on a secretive program that uses unmarked vans equipped with X-ray machines to detect bombs. The ruling follows a nearly 3-year legal battle by ProPublica, which had requested police reports, training materials, contracts, and any health and safety tests on the vans under the state's Freedom of Information law. The New York Police Commissioner was silent on the matter and refused to answer how often cops bombard places, vehicles, or people with radiation, or if there are health risks for residents. The official policy of the NYPD is that the vans are not used to scan people for weapons. Rather, the intent is to monitor dangerous individuals in their homes. But as with any misunderstood technology, people are wary of those answers. The X-ray vans at issue are essentially a version of older airport body scanners mounted on a truck. Only 3 years ago, airline passengers routinely went through X-ray machines known as backscatters at major airports, such as
Yo, it's crazy. We see a lot of those vans now because a lot of people are investing in those particular vans that you just seen on your screen. The Leaper van, the Amazon vans. Like, you can't even tell the difference between those vans and the government vans. It's crazy. You can't even tell the difference. They literally look the same. It's like they set it up that way. It's like they shut society down and made sure that everybody is getting everything by delivery, and they all have the same van, so they can increase surveillance on people.
Los Angeles International, New York's John F. Kennedy, and Chicago's O'Hare. But citing privacy concerns, the TSA removed body scanners that emit X-rays and replaced them with machines that use technology that is considered less invasive.
Right, the Sprinter vans. Ain't it crazy how Sprinter vans just got real popular out of nowhere? Them Sprinter vans are everywhere now.
And safer, but X-ray vans continue to be used by law enforcement agencies. It's no secret that smart appliances can be extremely convenient. Whether we use them to play a song remotely or turn out the lights from another room, they can save us valuable time during our day. But they also represent a huge tool for law.
Hey, Arthur Koestler. That remind me of Arthur Koestler, the Ghost in the Machine. Because them damn smart devices. Hey, man, I know y'all heard the story of the young girl that was by herself, and her smartphone told her to take a metal object and stick it into the electric socket. So we know that this is demonic technology. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to stop being so lazy. What's wrong with turning a damn light switch on? What's wrong with turning a toaster on or turning your microwave on yourself? These smart devices are satanic. If you look at these smart devices, they utilize ancient practices. Let's look at the what is it, Siri? They actually have a sphere with the Siri emblem, and when you look at the word Siri, you can trace the roots back to a deity from Egypt. So these are like fallen gods and fallen deities. I'm telling you, bro. Them smart devices ain't no joke. Them smart devices, they watching everything.
Law enforcement. Any device connected to the internet, meaning the vast majority, can be infiltrated and used to incriminate a suspect. For instance, a 2016 Arkansas murder case was determined through audio claimed from an Amazon Echo device at the scene of the crime. But the fact is, this is actually not a new revelation in the world of surveillance. The police have been using these kinds of records since around 2000. Using services like SiriusXM and OnStar, the cops have been triangulating the location of suspects for many years. In fact, these services can be used to continually monitor an individual's location without a warrant. Unless you drive a clunker with no bells and whistles, chances are your car is susceptible to...
And they got rid of all the clunkers. Remember when Barack Obama was in office, he did cash for clunkers. They wanted to make sure you gave up all of the cars that can't be traced.
To car tapping.
So you see what the number one thing was. It was the smart devices. Over all of that, the number one thing was smart devices. Man, now listen, I'm going to tell you. Let's go to Psalms chapter 37, verse 12, because we got to understand why they plot, why they watch, why are they doing what they doing, right? Psalms 37, verse 12. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeketh that his day is coming. Ooh. It says the wicked plot on you and they gnash their teeth. That means those people that be looking at you, scoffing, some you know, somebody snap their teeth like a biatch. That's what people are doing. They're watching with this, like, this jealousy. They're watching with this, like, it's like secret admiration. It's like envy. They watch you with this scoffing, like, who they think they are, who they think, you know, they refraining from doing what we doing. So they look, the Bible say these Negroes snap their teeth. I'm telling you, the word don't be lying. And this is the spirit they under when they watching. It says the wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. He's snapping his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeketh that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and the needy, to cast down the poor and the needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own hearts, and their bow shall be broken. Ooh. Their sword shall enter into their own hearts, and they shall be broken. And they fear us because of our chaste, righteous conversation. Imagine that. Because they have put such a program in place. They're not supposed to be people who can get online and think outside of the status quo. There's not supposed to be positive, righteous people who fear God. So when they see that, they snap their teeth. So when they're watching you, they're watching with disdain, right? They're watching you with disdain just to show you the type of spirit they in. The Most High God laughs at them. And guess what? If the Most High God is laughing at these people who watching you, you should be doing this very same thing. I'm telling you, you'll get in that spirit where you're laughing at these people. You walk outside your door, your neighbor's just sitting there watching on a lawn chair, just yeah, who they think they are. We out here having cookouts. We throwing pork on the grill. I don't never see them come on over here. What's going on with them? Why they kids look so happy? Why everybody shining over there? Why they healthy, safe and strong? Why they not following the status quo? Why they not following all these holidays? Why they ain't out here on the 4th of July? What's going on with them? They watching you snapping their teeth, and God is laughing at them because they're stupid. So they sitting there plotting and scheming. Now, when you put it on this level of thinking from these people, you realize they're really not that intelligent. These are demons. They go to fallen angel technology, and they're just really weak people. I'm going to show you how they recruit these people. I'm going to another source. And everybody watching the stream, if you're getting some edification, mash the thumbs up. I'm going to share another source with y'all to show y'all how they actually recruit these people. Want to be a CIA agent? ? How to become a spy? Let me show you how these people get recruited. Want to be a CIA agent? How to be a spy, right? Look at this. We're going to learn something today, right? Let's get it.
College campuses like Georgetown here, and among them, it is job search season on college campuses like Georgetown here, and among them, recruiters are one of the country's most secretive employers, the Central Intelligence Agency.
This is what they do. They recruit these people at colleges. At colleges. I'm going to tell you right now, I went to an HBCU, Allen University, for approximately a year or so. And I don't know about y'all, but I did not feel safe in the education ward. I didn't feel safe in the 12 grades of learning, and I didn't feel safe in college. They recruit CIA agents in colleges, and they do it via fraternity. It's the fraternities, ladies and gentlemen. And they will put pressure on a lot of brothers and sisters to join these fraternities. They put a lot of pressure on them. And listen, a lot of people who are intelligent, a lot of people who are on their dean, a lot of people who are actually book smart, and they're spiritually aware, they do their best to suppress those people from actually graduating with master's degrees. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible for an individual to get their master's degree, knowing the truth and being book smart. But I'll tell you this now, they'll always throw a stumbling block. You'll be doing good. They'll throw some kind of credit in the way. Oh, you need this extra credit. Oh, you didn't get this half credit, so we're going to throw you back here. Oh, come to find out you need another half credit because you took sociology here, but you need a grade here. And they basically are unfair. They basically are unfair to those who don't join fraternities. I've witnessed this firsthand. They won't let you get through certain doors. They don't let you excel like you are supposed to if you do not join a fraternal order. They make it a lot easier. A lot of these people who join these fraternities, they are absolutely foolish. I'm talking about there's people who join fraternities who are not even book smart, and they end up getting master's degrees. They don't know anything. They haven't learned anything in the school system, but they have gotten master's degrees. You ever ask yourself how? It's the fraternal order. CIA actually, they strolled through college campuses all the time. The college I went to, we had Al Sharpton come to our school numerous times. People who got close to him, not saying that Al Sharpton is an agent, I don't know, but I do know certain brothers firsthand that I knew firsthand that got close to Al Sharpton who are very successful, and I know that they was dumbasses. I know they were. Straight up, not to be, excuse my language, excuse my French, though my speech be rude, I lack not in wisdom and knowledge. But I've seen these individuals accelerate, become class president, all of these things, just from getting close to Al Sharpton, like being a part of his cabinet, because I think he was running for something at the time I was in school. And he would come to our school. He would come to a lot of HBCUs down south, but he would come to our school a lot. But I know people who was part of the fraternity that got close to him. Niger, thank you for the $20 contribution. Says, let them know, Bree. Everybody needs to know how deep the gang stalking really goes. Appreciate you, bro. All praises. Facts. Thank you, brother. And on these college campuses, they be watching. They be watching you at school. Really, they really be clocking you.
The CIA is currently hiring for more than 100 different occupations that run the gamut from spies or operations officers to cyber analysts, foreign language instructors, and so much more.
Peep this, cyber analyst. Peep that word, cyber analyst. This is the future of espionage and spying. This is really what a lot of people are getting into. Yep, somebody said he's Black Boule. I agree. He may be. I don't know. I can't prove that he's Black Boule, but I do know that people who are part of the fraternity, they had access to Al, and those very same people, a couple of those individuals, they were actually they had a very revolutionary mindset. Let me make this clear. There were some of the brothers that got close to Al Sharpton that were very revolutionary in their thoughts. I used to build with these brothers. This is before I knew the truth of the Bible, but I was always conscious. Well, at the time, I guess you could call me pro-Black because I was looking into Marcus Garvey and all those things. And when I was in college, so I was cognitive of our people in history, but I didn't know the biblical truth yet. And some of the brothers that joined the fraternity, we had to part ways. Like friends, brothers I was friends with in college. Like, hey, bro, one of my brothers like, man, I got to go ahead and join. I'm trying to go ahead and graduate because they doing this with my records. And he said, man, I'm going to go ahead and join a fraternity. And a lot of things that brother believed, everything changed after that. Everything changed after that. It's like they programmed him to think a certain way after that. So I was like, man, I ain't joining, because I didn't like how they were trying to put pressure on people to join. I mean, and there's a lot of things that go on. There's a lot of hazing that goes on. People be getting abused in these schools. All kind of Greek practices. And let's make it clear. Anything that wants you to denounce your original nationality, which we are the children of Israel, God, the Bible speaks of. Anybody want you to denounce your original culture and state claim to being Greek, state and claim to be somebody else, you should look out for that. They don't want you to know who you are. They want you to denounce who you are. And then they want you to take oaths. But I ain't mean to go into that diatribe. Let's talk about it.
Went to CIA headquarters to find out what they're looking for in new hires.
So now we can see what they're looking for to hire new agents and spies.
Zachary Wyatt is a retired CIA operations officer. He spent 25 years at the agency and now helps it recruit new talent.
When you look at the national security challenges we have, you combine that with regional instability, cyber attacks, economic interdependence, finding individuals who can address any of them, not easy.
Look, finding individuals who can address what? Let's reiterate that.
Individuals who can address any of them, not easy. Regional instability.
Look what the CIA is looking for what they want people to be able to spy on. Listen to the matters very carefully.
Cyber attacks, economic interdependence.
Economic interdependence. Economic interdependence. Ooh. So that means that these people will spy on people who promote economic interdependence, meaning they want people to work for corporations and conglomerates. They don't want people who are business savvy and want to start their own businesses. They don't want people who don't want to outsource. They don't want people, listen, they watch people like this. They watch people like anybody who is trying to stop, anybody who's trying to get other people out of debt. Like, I want to shout Pastor Dow out, because I figure that this brother goes through a lot, because we're talking about a man that promotes economic interdependence on like a very high level. Like literally, the man promotes it on a scale that's unprecedented, that a lot of people don't do. So I can imagine they would watch an individual like that, because here it is. He's telling people, listen, don't rely on this system. You get it how you get it. Get out of debt. Get you a home front, get you a homestead. He promotes community living. Those things, the CIA watch those things. The CIA watch those type of things. So, and they actually are recruiting people who pay attention to economic interdependence. They want you to rely on the system. Then that they just told you what they're looking for. Yeah, if you don't fit the New World Order, they watch it. But the Most High got us. He got a wedge of protection around us.
Finding individuals who can address any of them, not easy.
The agency has career tracks in 5 different directorates, from science and technology to digital innovation. Wyatt says the CIA's most proactive recruitment efforts are in its Directorate of Operations. That deals with the clandestine work of the organization.
And they are charged with recruiting foreign sources around the world who have access to information our government can't get any other way.
Who have access to information our government can't get any other way. So they're going to be looking for individuals who CIA agents are individuals who can fit in most circles. We're talking about we're talking about those nosy people who go from group to group to group, who can pretty much spy on individuals. Information that they can't get using technology, but information that you can only get it from first-hand account. So I'm telling you, like when you go into the 12 grades of learning and you're in college, after you go through the 12 grades, you are studied through high school. There's case studies. There are dossiers on everybody who went through the 12 grades of learning. This is a fact. Your teachers keep them. Your guidance counselors keep them. Your principals keep them. There's a record on your life from the time you enter the school system. So they kind of have an idea of your thought process. When you was taking tests, filling out the bubbles on these sheets, the way you answered questions, your mind was being studied. Your mind was being studied to see where you at psychologically. How close are you to breaking the matrix? How close are you to finding out that their education system is utter nonsense? How close are you? How close are you? Is the question. So they study you. And so when you get to college, they will even choose your roommate. You don't even know this, but your roommate can be an agent. I'm telling you, am I going too deep for you? Is the rabbit hole getting too deep for you? They will literally hire a narc to watch you, to see what you into. And they'll be getting paid, being recruited, because that information can only come through human interaction. And they're actually reporting to these guidance counselors, to these government officials about you. It goes down like this, trust and believe. It really goes down in the colleges. That's where the CIA recruits their people. And they start practicing in the college.
Working for the CIA is not what you see in Hollywood movies, Wyatt says, and
Nope.
It's not for everyone.
When you combine what we're looking for, that is interest in public service, not needing public.
They're looking for narcissists that can portray people very easily. Good actors.
Recognition for your successes, not being able to share often some of your successes with the people you most love and respect. That's a sacrifice.
And no, they don't share information at all with people they love. They don't. It takes a special type of evil type of person to be that callous. Yep, somebody say your co-workers, new hires. Real talk. Yep, somebody said it. It's like the Truman Show with Jim Carrey. That movie spoke volumes. You don't even understand that everybody set up in your life is actually part of this organized mobbing program. And your life has a narrative to it. And they basically are trying to promote and push the trajectory. And you being watched the whole time. They're creating theater right before your eyes. Not even understanding your whole life is like a damn movie. And these devils are being choreographed.
And it's a lifestyle.
What does the
It's a lifestyle.
agency
Look, they got careers and internships. That's the word I was looking for. A lot of those brothers got internships with Al Sharpton and his cabinet. They got internships. Man, I'm telling you, I'm thinking that it was a good thing I parted ways from a lot of these quote unquote intellectuals that I used to build with. Because I used to build with a whole circle of just intellectuals. And that's why I say, man, if you're not in that Bible truth, if you're not in the holy word, if you don't believe in Christ, I don't need to build with you, because people from all walks of life, all these pro-blackity black people, I'm telling you, they be agents. They really be working for the people sometimes.
value in applicants?
We look for characteristics and qualities that many employers do. Everything from excellent communication skills, integrity, decisiveness, good judgment, common sense, and certainly patriotism.
They look for people who are socialites. Socialites who are witty, that can get into any kind of circle. People who can really just maneuver their ways in. This is why I tell y'all people, don't be pressed for friendship. And for the life of me, I can't get close to anybody who's trying to force friendship upon me. Can't do it. Can't do it. Those individuals who always, as soon as you enter the workplace, as soon as you walk in the door, they just automatically rush you. Friendship should be built organically. Friendship just comes so natural. You got to be aware of people who are always trying to just get close to you. Friendship comes organic. It just works seamlessly. And the Bible also says friendship is born out of adversity. When you're going through things, the Most High God will bless you with friendship. He'll bless you with people in your circle that's righteous. Marcus Billip, thank you for the $5 contribution. Highly appreciated. Yeah, energy is very real. Sometimes you just got to allow energy to work itself out instead of you just out here. Somebody's trying to be your friend, so you just be their friend. That person can be a whole witch. That person can be a whole agent and everything else. Let's go to these scriptures. I'm going to the wisdom of Solomon. Let's talk about this plot against the righteous, the chosen. We're in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. I'm going to start in verse 10. It says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient grays of hair. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found nothing worth. Meaning, let our justice be the judicial system. Let our justice be the judicial system. Let us use the law against the poor righteous people. Let us use the law against them, right? Let's continue. It says, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous. Let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not of our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with offending the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgressings of our education. Yeah, we telling them their education system is trash. Their education system is of no value. So they're saying, hey, let us oppress them. Let us watch them, because they told us our education system is nothing. Let us clock those people. Let us lie in wait, because they're not of our turn. Contrary to all of the filth that we put in the airways, these people are clean. He talks about us offending the laws of God. He's not of our turn, so let's watch him. Verse 13, he professeth to have the knowledge of God, and he called himself the child of the Lord. We are children of the Lord. Verse 14, he was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. Likewise, his ways are another fashion. His life is not like other people's. Their ways are another fashion. The way these people maneuver is different from everybody else. These people are special. These people got a certain light to them. They got a glow. These people are glowed up. They're not of our turn. They're not like us. His ways are different. Let's study these people. Let's watch them very closely, because we can't understand why they're not like us. Why they not backbiting and gossiping and slandering, and why they not throwing stones and hiding their hands, and why they not being deceptive and manipulative? Like, why? This is the thought process of these people. Let's continue. He is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. It says, we grievous for them to behold. That means it hurts them to look at us. Imagine that. Imagine having so much hate in your heart that when you see people just trying to live their life, follow God, be healthy, raise their children, just trying to do the right thing, trying to wake their people up because they love their people and they're tired of seeing their people hurting in these streets, and they're tired of seeing the people going in a downward spiral. How could you look at those individuals who have such good intentions and just hate them to the point where it hurts you just to look at them? When they see your glow, it hurts these devils. They be burning up inside. And when you really become ignited with the spirit, you can see the hate on them. You can see the reptile in their eyes. You can see when they start shifting. You can read their body language. You can smell the hate on them. No, I'm talking about physically. You can smell it. These people stink. They have a stench. They smell like rigor mortis. They smell like dead bodies because they got hate in their body. They got hate in their mind and their heart. And when they see you, they hate to see you winning. They hate to see you living. They hate to see you doing better in life. They hate to see you on this upward battle. They want to see you spiraling out of control. They want to see you kill yourself. You are hard to even look at. But see, this is how twisted and demented these people are. They watch you anyway. Imagine that. Ain't that psychotic? You are grievous to behold, meaning you're hard to look at because it burns their spirit up, but they continue looking at you. They continue looking at you. These people have a perverse spirit. They're perverted. They're grievous to behold. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. They know they filthy. He esteemed from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that God is his father. God is our father, and our end will be blessed. Verse 17. Let us see if his words be true. Let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hands of his enemies. They're saying, hey, if the just man really be the man of God, let's continue to scrutinize this man. Let's continue to torture him through technology, through electronic harassment. Let's continue to watch this man. Let's continue to plot. Let's continue to do things in society that will frustrate him. Let's economically suppress him. Every time he take 10 steps forward, make him take 15 steps back. When he start growing, let's start tinging his credit score. Let's make sure he's not able to do what he wants to do, what he needs to do, what he deserves to do. Let's start hitting him with everything because they don't want to see you financially succeed either. They don't want to see you elevate at all. It says, if he's really a child of God, if he's really the child of God, won't God just come rescue him? This is their thought process. They don't even understand they're being used to actually mold us. They're being used to try us like go through the furnace. Right? It says, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, electronic harassment, gang stalking, organized mobbing, economic suppression, internet mobbing, internet harassment, smear campaigns, slander, gossip. It says, let us examine him with despitefulness and with torture. Let's test him. It says that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let's just see how meek he is. Oh, they claim that the meek shall inherit the earth. Yep, General said it. You shall not tempt the Lord. Oh, yeah. It said, let us test his meekness. Since they said the meek will inherit the earth, right? Let's see how meek you are. Let me go put nails in your tires. Let me scratch your vehicle up. Let me throw bodily fluids around your house. Let's throw trash in front of your door. Let's have city workers on your front lawn digging holes as an intimidation tactic. Everything that I said in my song, finesse, is true. Not one lie was told in my song. Let's intimidate these people by digging holes. That right there is the art of suggestion. We know who you are. We know where you live. And ladies and gentlemen, they know where all us live. All you targeted individuals, they know where you live. Let's make it clear. Let us dig holes in front of this person's yard to intimidate them. We see what you're doing online and we don't like it. Who digs holes in front of somebody's yard unless you're trying to threaten that person? But guess what? We protected by the Most High. There's some evil plots. And they know who you are, but they're spiritual laws. If they could just line all the chosen up and gun us down, they would do it. Don't you know Satan has to get permission from the Most High? Satan has to get permission from the Most High to make any kind of move. We learned that in the Testament of Job. We learned that in the Testament of Job, right? Let's continue. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. Let's kill him shamefully. Let's gun him down in the streets by the hands of the police. Let's gun him down execution style while his hands up. And now you wonder why they got BLM talking about hands up, don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot. That's shameful. Let's put him to a shameful death. Let his body lie in the streets, because they say the end of them will be, they say the end of them will be righteous. They're tempting the Lord. This is their thought process. Watch this. Such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them. Oh, I think your mind is playing tricks on you, gang stalkers. The Bible says your mind has deceived you. You have imagined these things. But that ain't what's going to happen. No, that ain't that's not what's going to happen to all you chosen. This is why you shouldn't be in fear anymore. If you're afraid, if you're going through the depression, if you're going through the anxiety because you know that there's organized mobbing going on around you, listen to what the Lord is telling you. Such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them. These people are blind. As for the mysteries of God, they knew them not. They didn't know the spiritual laws. They didn't know that there's guardian angels. They didn't know that the Most High sends a light around you, a wedge of protection, fire around you that they can't penetrate. They didn't know the mysteries of God. They thought Satan was God, and that their technological advances can supersede the power of the Almighty. This is what they thought. It says they knew them not, neither hoped that they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern the reward for blameless souls. They didn't even think about the reward that God's chosen have for going through these tough times. They didn't even think about the reward God's people had enduring, waking up and having to deal with your family hating you because of it. Telling your family, hey, that you know what? It's demonic. That's the devil's DNA. They want to alter your conscience. They want to suppress that light that the Most High given you. They want to take that light from you. They want to close your quote unquote third eye. They want you to be pure darkness. And if that one eye be blinded, if that one eye be dark, what'll happen to the rest of you? If they can take your mind, they can take your body. They can take your soul. If they can use the news to scare you, they can take everything from you, because whatever you're afraid of is your master. Whatever you fear is your master. And when you tell your family this, they hate you for it. The wicked didn't even consider the trials and tribulations that you will be faced to endure for being set apart. They didn't even consider the fact that you're going to be losing jobs, that you're going to be losing positions that you once had, that everything that you gain in the world will be under subjection now. They didn't even consider the fact that you actually were strong enough to persevere, and there's always reward. The Heavenly Father always reward us for our obedience, right? Let's continue. As for the mysteries of God, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern a reward for blameless souls. For God created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. They don't even understand, even when they execute judgment on us. Even when we're put to death, we live for eternity. We were never meant to even die. They don't even understand that aspect. And I want y'all to notice something. Every time they take one of our people out, your Marcus Garveys, your Bob Marleys, your Malcolm X's, who were also targeted individuals, people who were under close observation from the government. When they take out these particular people, if you notice, they're always using those close to them. They're always using those close to them. The devil needs an entry point. This is why you got to watch those in your inner circle. It could be the person that you are right next to. It's always a snitch. It's always a worker right there with you. A spy. And it ain't necessarily somebody who's been hired by the government, but it's people there. They plot. Now, let's hit a couple more scriptures here. Let's see what the Lord, how he wants our spirits to be during all of this. Psalms 122:7. Peace be within thy walls and prosperity within thy palaces. He wants you to be in peace. Within the confines of your home, he wants you to be in peace with Abba Yah. Peace inside your homes, inside your palaces. And they hate to see us still smiling, having a good time, eating good, living healthy, doing what it is we're supposed to do as God's people. Oh, they hate to see us in peace in our palaces. This is the spirit we're supposed to have during this program. Oh, them devils hate to see you smiling. They hate to see you doing good. They hate to see you thinking clearly. The whole gang stalking program is about psychological extraction. It's about psychologically extracting your powers. See, they hate you so much, they want to be you. They want to walk in your shoes. They want to wear your drawers. They admire your valor. They admire your courage. They admire your strength. They admire the fact that you are able to be in peace with all hell breaking loose. Your various talents and gifts, they want to exploit those talents and gifts. They want to take them. They want to actually download your conscience into their minds. They want to be you. Monitoring spirits, mimicking spirits. It goes back to those organic portals that are jumping through people. Those same demons I talked about earlier that just jump in people. They want to be you because you're going to be judging them. They want to be in your position. They want to be in a position of those who have fought the good fight. But instead of fighting the good fight, they want to steal your light. Instead of going through the good fight of being isolated from people that you once loved, instead of letting your ego perish, instead of allowing the Most High God to break you down, to build you up, they rather try to steal your light. They rather keep on testing your patience. I'm telling you. How Most High want our spirits to be through all of this, because the Bible is the only thing that expresses exactly how you deal with gang stalking. Jeremiah 33:6 says, behold, I will bring it health and cure. I will cure them. I will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth. The Most High God will cure us from anything, physically, mentally, and spiritually. He's the cure. I will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth. Some people will never know what it feels like to be in abundance of peace. Some people will never know what it's like to sleep real good at night. Not saying every night is a night of sleep, because, hey, sometimes you battle. But I'm going to tell you now, a lot of people won't understand what it's like to be doing your purpose and living your purpose. They won't get it. They won't get the tranquility of doing God's work, being in his will. They don't get it. So when they see it, they hate it. They hate it. It says in Psalms 16:8, I have set the Lord always before me, because he is my right hand, and I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. We ain't scared. Who's scared? The Lord is my rock. I should not be moved. Even if I'm standing in front of the magistrates. Send them all. Send your agents, send the reptiles, send the gang stalkers, send them all. I shall not be moved. That's what the Bible say. We ain't scared. We God's chosen. I'm going to tell you why they watching us. Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 19. Wisdom strengthened the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. For there is not a just man upon the earth that doeth good and sinneth not. It says, let's read that again. Wisdom strengthened the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. More than 10 mighty men. You may have 3 or 4 of these people who slandering your name, and you ready to cower? No. You're stronger than them in might. And shout out to Cool Gents, because he showed me that scripture and I was like, whoa. On last night's broadcast, Cool Gent brought that out. I said, ooh, wee. No wonder they got a gang up. No wonder they gang stalk. No wonder they got to come together in groups and clusters. And some of them got to gather the courage just to do that. I done seen people on the internet fishing for information on my name. Just fishing. Let me find 3 or 4 more people who don't like them. Let me just fish. You got to gain courage just to even come against a person. You can't even do it by your damn self. If you got a problem with an individual, you can't even go to them yourself. You got to go behind their back. This is how gang stalking works, because they're weak. Instead of addressing the issue with you personally, man to man, they will go behind your back and talk to various people behind your back to see if they don't like you, to see if they see the same spirit in you that bothers them. Do they got the same spirit? Do y'all feel when he come around, do y'all feel that way? This is how they talk. This is how these men talk. When that person come around, do you be feeling like, I don't know about him, he always happy, he always minding his business, something about that. I don't know about that dude. Fishing. They got to muster up courage just to talk about you. And that scripture is also speaking in regards to those in city council, those who are plotting, those who are trying to put 10, imagine people putting 10 minds together. Imagine 10 brains coming together to plot on one person. What you think they did to our Lord and Savior? Do you know how political his death was? We're talking about Freemasons sitting in a lodge. We're talking about your local masonry lodge. You got people sitting in there in a round circle talking about you. Yeah, I see that little platform blowing up. Oh, he meeting up with this organization, that group. Hey, they doing little things. Hey, I heard they talking about the water in the city. What are we going to do with these people? 10 people against one person. Ain't wisdom something else? Ain't wisdom something else? How Most High want our spirits to be. Job 11:18. And thou shalt be secure, because there is hope. Yea, they shall dig about thee, and thou shalt take thy rest in safety. And thou shalt be secure. Their whole goal is to make you insecure in yourself. This is why they constantly fabricate stories. This is why they lie. This is why they slander. This is why they backbite. They want to make you insecure. The Most High God said, you shall be secure in who you are. You should be secure. Because there is hope. They should dig about thee. That means they should compass you. They should dig about thee. They should plot. They really dig in a grave for you. They want to see you in a pine box so they can take pictures and celebrate. They want to see pictures of your dead body so they can celebrate it. They want you to get in that spirit of suicide. They want to make you insecure. So everywhere you go, you at your workplace, they murmuring behind your back. You can hear them poking while you walking. You can hear the whispers going on from these people, making you think it's something wrong with you. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Be secure in yourself, in this word, in this truth. These people are demons. Straight up demons. Let's go back. How the Most High want our spirits to be? Because we speaking to the spirit right now, how you deal with this gang stalking. Thou shalt be secure, because there's hope. Thou shalt dig about thee. Thou shalt take thy rest in safety. You're safe. Under the Most High protection, you're safe. You are safe. Psalms 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Who that abideth in the secret place of the Most High should abide in the shadow of the Almighty. You listen, that's a great place to be. Under the shadow of the Almighty. We talking about the hidden ones. The Most High is hiding you. You like, hold on. No, harm not my elect. Don't even rise your tongue against my elect. Don't even do it, because I know what I put them through to get what they got. So all that envy and jealousy, you watching them from the outside, looking in, wondering why they're successful in certain areas. You wasn't there when I put them through what I put them through. You wasn't there when they was alone shedding tears. You wasn't there when they were heartbroken and I had to mend their broken hearts. I dare you touch my hidden ones. I dare you lift your tongue up against these people, because while they were suffering, I was right there watching them. While they was going through the birth pains, while they were sitting there waking up and going through the turmoil of awakening to this truth, while their spirit was going through pain, while they was in a midlife crisis, ain't know who they were, I was right there. So they under my shadow. I dare you speak negative against them. You curse yourself. The Most High God will remove people who curse thee. He will remove them. And our prayers are power. The heavens are wide open for us. Don't you know David in the book of Psalms prayed against his enemies day in and day out? Lord, destroy them. They should be ashamed of speaking negative against you God-fearing people who thirst for this knowledge, who thirst for this truth, who want to secure your souls, who yearn to be with your heavenly Father. They should be absolutely ashamed, because the Most High God will eradicate you. I done seen people removed, absolutely destroyed for speaking out against the elect and the righteous. The Most High God's protection ain't no joke. He don't play about his people. I wish y'all understood. I wish we can visualize his love for us. I wish you can visualize what the Most High God sees in you. It's the same way that you look at your son or your daughter that you just created, a little version of yourself. How could you ever abandon something that is you? A little child with your eyes, lips, and mouth, your eyes, nose, and mouth, and facial features, and chin, and eyebrows, and you looking at that like, that's me. How could you ever abandon that? That's how the Most High God look at you. But he give us tough love. He give us tough love to make sure that we able to withstand the wiles of the devil. He have to give us tough love. He have to prepare us for this battle that we're facing. First Chronicles 16:22 saying, do not touch my anointed ones and do not do my prophets no harm. Touch not my anointed ones. You shouldn't even be thinking about attacking God's people. You shouldn't even be thinking about trying to go against those who are speaking the truth. You shouldn't even be thinking about going after those who are actually unplugging from this filthy ass matrix. Cool Gents, thank you for that scripture, my brother. Cool Gents be coming with them verses, coming with that fire. Get back into these scriptures. The Holy Spirit is in the room, man. And if y'all in here, make sure you thumbing the video up because the Holy Spirit is moving. And I'm just going to move as the Spirit moves. 1 John chapter 4, verse 18. There was no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. Ooh. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. Absolute love. It takes out all that fear. That's the strongest, most powerful force of nature is love. You can hate all you want, but love is going to last. That's going to withstand the test of time. All them Israelites that used to be on the streets teaching that was coming with all that hate speech, they bubble up and fizzle out. They bubble up and fizzle out. But those the Most High God chosen, this is for life. Don't you understand? Because it's love in this. It's love in it. When you love the Most High, when you love his word, when you love his Bible, when you love your people, can't nothing stop you. Can't nothing stop love because you're willing to die for the love, even though you protect it. Hey, if you are taken out, you know that life is eternal. The Most High God already told you that you will live eternally. Let's get back into it. This is the spirit that Most High God want us to have. Going through gang stalking and organized mobbing. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 13. In whom ye also trusted, after that ye heard the word of truth, the gospel of your salvation, in whom also after that ye believed, ye were sealed with that Holy Spirit of promise. See, because you actually trusted the Most High, he sealed you with the Holy Spirit of promise. He promised us many mansions. He promised us eternal life, pardon me. He promised us longevity. He promised his righteousness that we would live to the end of our days. That we would live to our full capacity. That we would not leave this earth early. That generational curses will be blessed if we trust in him. He promised us. You have to hold the Most High God to his promises. For those who don't believe in the Bible, those who don't believe in the scriptures, I challenge you to challenge the Most High. And I don't mean in a disrespectful way. I challenge you to challenge him in his promises to see if they be true. If you take an oath with the Father to get rid of all things you know that's in your life that's wrong, whether you selling drugs, whether you prostituting, whether you out here thirst trapping on the gram, even if you on OnlyFans, I challenge you to do away with the things you know burns you up in your spirit deep down. If there's any light left in you, and you know that you're going down the wrong path, and you've justified this with yourself time and time again, You sat there and reasoned with yourself about what you're doing. Your reasoning is incorrect. In order for you to elevate in true peace, in succession with the Almighty, you're going to have to let go of those things. This love-hate relationship with sin that you got, it has to be thrown out of the window. You can't serve two masters. You can't call yourself a quote-unquote good person, and your contributions to the world are filth. Your contribution to the world is what everybody else is doing. What makes you set apart? I challenge you to challenge the Most High that He will reward your efforts of leaving all those things in the past. If you have an addictive personality and you're dealing with certain drugs, I challenge you to pray to the Almighty to deliver you from that spirit of addiction. I pray, I challenge you, pardon me, that you go to the Heavenly Father and say, I'm going to let go of this, that, and the third, Lord. And I'm willing to go through everything I got to go through. And I want you to challenge the Lord, expecting to lose things, expecting to go through tough situations, expecting the fact that, hey, if you out here moving weight, if you selling weed, selling coke every month, and that's how you paying your rent right now, I challenge you to stop. Even if that's your way of providing for yourself and your family, I'm telling you right now, challenge the Most High to see if He will secure you and your family. Challenge Him. Just stop what you're doing. Trust in the Lord and see what happens. But you got to expect to take some losses. And by that way, you will know that there's something spiritual operating. There's something else other than yourself that's operating in your life. Some of you brothers need to understand that. Some of you sisters need to know it's something else operating in the cosmos that's bigger than yourself. He'll take care of you when you do the right thing because He can see your sacrifices. He can see your sacrifices. He might let you go through it, but He'll secure you. Let's go. Jeremiah 46:27. But fear not thou, O my servant Jacob. But fear not thou, O my servant Jacob, and be not dismayed, O Israel. For behold, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and be in rest and at ease, and none shall make him afraid. Ooh. Fear not, Jacob. We are the seed of Jacob. We the house of Israel. We the house of Jacob. Be not dismayed. Although you see all these technological advances, you see that they dig a tumult against you, that they compass you, they prosecute. Don't be dismayed. Don't grow weary. Don't grow faint at heart, O Israel. Behold, I'm going to set you free from near and far, even your seed. You're going to leave the land of your captivity. I'm going to rescue you from famine and war. I'm going to rescue you from the sword. I'm going to rescue you from invasion. And Jacob shall return, and you will rest, you will be in ease, and none shall ever make you afraid. This is what the Lord wants for our people. We've been in fear far too long. We've been in fear and slavery where we couldn't rest night or day. We was afraid to read the Holy Bible. We was in fear just to bring forth life, afraid that they would sell our children into captivity. We was afraid for a long time. It's somewhere down the line that fear got to turn into power. We've been cornered far too long. Even now, the mechanism that's put in place for this society is to promote fear on the people. Telling you if you don't bow before the so-called powers that be and relinquish your body, relinquish your mind and your spirit to them, that it would equivalent to death. Playing God, telling you who's going to die in the next 6 months. We expect this many people to die or that many people to die, all to promote fear. They're not God. They can't tell you how many people are going to die. Only the Most High can do that. We have been in fear far too long. In this Bible, it shows you how to break the program. You want to have some individuals saying, are you saying you can beat gang stalking? No, they're always going to watch. They're watching us right now. They know where all of us live. But it's nothing they can do because you are still hidden. They operating in the physical world. We operating from a spiritual vantage point, and we're very close to getting 1,000 people in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the thumbs up and let's get it. Let's break the mold. We are very close. Somebody said, sending all you beautiful people, peace and love. Thank you, sister. I see Rollo in the chat. Salute the brother Rollo. Yeah, somebody said it. As we speak, they're watching. Yep, walking in the spirit always wins. Somebody said, you're correct. They're watching right now. Yeah, they absolutely are. I see somebody with a testimony. They said, I personally called on God to help my family, and he came through, and I was happy that he did. All praises to the Almighty. All praises. Yosh, thank you for the $5 contributions. It's praises to the Most High. Blessings to you, Bree. Thank you. Appreciate it, bro. All praises. Yep. Somebody said fear literally paralyzes you. It does. It keeps you stagnated. It keeps you from moving. And shout out to Nikki Nicole Talks as well. Beautiful sister over there on her channel. Shout out to that sister for reacting to that song that I did earlier, that Finesse. She really broke down what that song was about. Like, she did a reaction video. Shout out to her. She really broke down what that song was really about. And it was a good breakdown, sis, if you watch it. Somebody told me to go ahead and hydrate. Took your advice. Thank you. All praises to the Almighty, the merciful God of Israel. I'd like to thank everybody for catching this broadcast. It's been such a blessing to build with y'all. More content coming. I'm putting in that work, so be prepared for it. Turn your post notification bell on to get videos as they're being uploaded. Ladies and gentlemen, also follow me on Patreon. And consider becoming a member. Hit the join button on the subscribe tab. You have to utilize a laptop or a computer. Some of these streams I'm doing will be going for members only. So it is what it is. I love each and every one of y'all. And make sure you share the content. Share everywhere. With that being said, shalom and peace.